Hannah, you mentioned a telephone conversation where you and your sister y'all were talking, and she said you were hard-headed and sometimes difficult to deal with. So during that conversation, share with me what was going through your mind when you were having that conversation with your sister.
I was sad and frustrated because I'm doing the best I can to keep up with school and provide for my grandmother.
So tell me a little more about this conversation. What was it specifically that made you sad and frustrated?
She wanted me to quit school and give up everything. I worked so hard to accomplish stuff to stay home with our Nana. She second guesses like every decision I make about my Nana's care, and she criticizes everything I do. I know my sister can't take care of Nana because she has her own health conditions, but she say that if she could, she would do a better job than me. And her tone was hurtful. I'm doing the best that I can. I keep trying to please Daphne, but nothing I do works. I feel like I'm drowning.
Well, okay, Hannah, you're a little upset. So let's just take a second and let's just take a couple of slow, deep breaths. So I'm going to model it for you. Just breathe in, breathe out. Let's do it one more time. So it sounds like you have a really strong desire to have your sister acknowledge you and appreciate everything you're doing and to help everything you're doing to help care for your grandmother.
Yeah, my whole life, really.
Yeah. So can you think of another time maybe when you felt criticized by your sister? And if you can, I wonder if you would share one of those experiences with me, and maybe even one from your childhood.
From my childhood? Gosh, there's so many. But there was a time when I asked my sister to help me make a flower and a vase out of paper for my mother and my father's anniversary. We were using like old newspapers, glue, and flour, like paper mache. I remember trying to glue strips of newspaper, but my sister wouldn't remove the strips from where I placed it, and she placed it somewhere else. She kept saying, "You're putting them on too thick." I continued trying to place the newspaper strips on the vase, like real nice, and suddenly she slapped my hand and said, "You're gonna mess it up. Just go."
And how did you respond to that?
I remember being sad and crying because I just wanted Daphne to think that I did a good job. And then later in the day, when I made my own flowers made out of paper and a paper vase, and I showed it to Daphne, she said, "You're not giving that to Mom and Dad." I always thought Daphne was so smart and she was talented, and I was always ready to help Daphne, but she always thought she could do it better on her own.
So you wanted Daphne to think you were capable, but after making the effort, you felt criticized. And so what you would do is you would try to work harder to make Daphne happy. I'm wondering, are you starting to hear or experience a pattern, sort of, your sister criticizes you and then you try to please her, and that's sort of true with what's going on with your grandmother. Your sister's criticizing you about your grandmother's care.
Does. Sounds about right.
So what would it feel like if you were to share these thoughts with your sister?
I don't know. Scary, maybe. When I was growing up, my parents taught my brother and me to show Daphne respect never questioning her thoughts or any of her opinions.
So having a one-on-one conversation with your sister about your feelings is a scary thought because it's new to you.
Right.
So sometimes when we can gain some insight into our thoughts and behaviors if we pretend to speak with a loved one and share some of our unresolved thoughts and our feelings with them. I wonder, what if you shared your thoughts with me, acting as your sister? Another option is to use an empty chair, and we call it the empty chair technique. And the chair will represent your sister. Would you be okay with trying this exercise?
I mean, it sounds weird, but I guess I could. I think it would be easier to talk to the chair, though.
Okay, that's just fine. So let's pretend your sister is sitting in the chair next to you. And what would you say to your sister about how you're feeling right now? So just begin whenever you're ready.
So just talk right next to this chair.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right.
Daphne, I tried hard to respect and honor your opinion because you're the oldest sibling and I value your opinion and your ideas. I'm struggling myself. I have a lot that happened, Daphne, and I'm trying to keep my head above water in school, all while providing for Nana and her needs. I need you to see all that I'm capable, that I can do this, and that my ideas are good too. I get no help from no one. The least you could do is support me and not criticize what I do, Daphne.
Okay, that's good. So now what I'd like for you to do is be your sister. How would your sister respond to what you just said?
Daphne probably say, you can't even get your own life together. How can you take care of Nana without my help?
And how would you respond to that?
I don't know. I want to say that if I had help, rather than her criticizing me, I can get my life together.
Okay, that's good. So right now, how's your body feeling? How did it feel to express those feelings?
I feel scared and jittery, but I feel better that there's some relief that I let it out. It feels like those words have been sitting on my heart and my chest for a long time, for years.
Okay. That's good. So Hannafah, we started today and we identified this pattern sort of where you seek your sister's approval and she responds with criticism, and then you try even harder to make her happy. Then we moved on and we made a discovery that you felt relief after sharing some of your thoughts about your sister. So how do you feel about those two discoveries we made today?
I guess I know I need to stand up for myself, but I'm really not sure how to do it in person with Daphne, because she just makes me so nervous.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, okay. So I heard you say, I don't know. And I feel certain that you are becoming more and more confident and that you're working toward an answer that replaces, I don't know.
I'm trying hard.